as of today. And looking at the news I read last week, and the governors said that they were suddenly aware that Nigerian source of income, which is crude oil, has been sold in advance, and it will take like 6 months before they can say they are having control of that crude oil again. Now that simply means that Nigeria is actually broke. Now, if I'm talking now, you'll be thinking that, okay, what about the money? I mean, the vehicles they are buying, the senators and the House of Reps are buying. Of course, every leaders want to make sure that it's comfortable first. But when you look at the percentage, like they used to tell us that the percentage of people that are reading us, they are not even up to 10% compared to everybody.
Are they even up to 10%?
They are not even up to maybe like 5% or so, or less than that. Now, the money they are spending on themselves, when we have total everything together, it's not up to that amount that Nigerians in total need to finance it. So that 1 million naira, even the one they call 100,000 naira, is not being approved. The 30,000 naira or 35,000 naira monthly salaries, even not every state can even pay that now. Now, when we move away from the state that the labor are fighting for, what about the private sectors? How many people? I was reading online recently, or maybe yesterday night or this morning, that in some places where the private sector paid them on the 5th of another month, now they've extended it to another 10 days by another 10 days. So instead of collecting it on the 5th of another month, they collect it in the middle of another month. And that's the normal salary. In some places where some people are collecting 20,000 naira, some security officers, they know the amount they are collecting, some 50,000, some, you understand?
Some less than that.
Some less than that. Some even in 2 months, they are paying in the appointment letter, they are paying them 50,000 naira monthly. But when it comes to realization of the payment, they pay them on maybe the second or third month of the first salaries. So it is not achievable.
1 million naira, the government can afford
it. I don't think the government can afford it, looking at the way it is. If the federal government can say it can afford it, I don't think the state can do. Okay. If they can't pay for the 30,000 naira, since that year they enacted the law, till now, if they can't pay it, then it is not possible to pay 1 million naira, not to talk about the private sector.
Okay, Comrade Ogumbusola. Now, let me get to point about this. The Labour actually said the 200,000 that they are proposing cannot really go anymore because it must change. That's the minimum wage. Now, proposing 1 million naira is said concerning what is actually going on now. The reality on ground is that if it continues this way, they will be demanding for 1 million. Labour are actually dreaming, or is it reality?
I don't even want to answer either dreaming or reality. But it will be more ideal. We'll give the better analysis.
Okay.
So when we get the analysis, we'll get to know if indeed they are dreaming or otherwise. One thing I believe is Labour, as we could see, they started having their gain grounding in 1978 under one Sumono. And from that time, what was the essence of this? Just to speak the mind of largely the masses. But if you ask, I said it here yesterday, that if you ask any labor leader anywhere, they tell you that they are fighting for members of the organization. So, which is to tell you that, number one, they are selfish. This selfishness or self-centeredness has been the bane of, development in this country. In a situation like Comrade Ola Emmanuel, mentioned that you are fighting for a leader who always fight for his comfort. That is wrong. If you are made to lead other people, then they have had confidence in you. It is those people that you should prioritize, not yourself. In a situation whereby you are made in a position and you are fighting for yourself, even from what Comrade Ola Emmanuel said, is to tell you that Mr. Ola has not given judgment to that, because these are things that we are talking about.
Yeah.
People are listening to us now. So meaning that if you are made a leader, then I am to prioritize myself. Then why are we now blaming those who are in position? So we should retract. You should also retract that a leader, a true leader, a responsible leader will ever think of people who are following him.
That's why he's a leader.
That's why he's a leader. That's number one. Then another one is that these said labor leaders, they don't know what they are saying. In the sense that if you look at when we had withdrawal of a fuel subsidy, these were the arguments that came up. But okay, how will the government continue running? Okay, you are always demanding increase in your salary. Have you always forgotten that as soon as this is even when the government will not pay it, as soon as it is taken to the media, those people, the artisans, as soon as they listen to this, they just have concluded within their minds that, oh, the government will surely pay, whether now or later. Then they increase prices of goods and services, and that is obviously what is happening. Not only that, last year when the present administration announced giving 35,000 wage award, did you know that the government wanted to try if there could be successive payments in that, but it failed because they only managed to pay once. Subsequent months were not received on time. In fact, I could tell you that it was yesterday federal civil workers were receiving their January salary. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? So if somebody is now bringing this fact that 1 million, and that's a very wrong option.
Okay, now gentlemen, the point is
why can't they move to let there be stable electricity, let everything come down? They are not looking in that direction.
But some will tell you that this money that we say the so-called leaders are actually basking on are worked by the workers. Now, they are worked by the workers. Yes.
Did you know that the informal sectors, pay about 80% of what the government gets? What are we talking about?
Okay, all right. The new
how many workers do we have in general in the country?
The old minimum wage will expire by April, and ordinarily the federal government is supposed to set up a committee in the next 6 months concerning that. Now, if you had the opportunity of being in the committee, what will you advise the government and the labor leaders?
On a more serious note, one thing is
basing your fact on the current things that are going on in the country.
On the current reality, yes. I have to tell you that what we'll tell the government. It's not always easy. One thing is, I will tell the government, we don't want increment. Let us fight for people. Let's find a way of ensuring that things are stable. People do not rely on government. Take for instance, people have been applauding the government of Oyo State. Did you know why? Even myself, I would say, the government is trying. Because I applied this old different road.
Yeah.
Those days, we used to spend around 350 and more before you get from Gates to Alakia. But now it has been reduced. These are things we are talking about. If there are functional amenities, people can do things themselves.
So what do you suggest?
So what I suggest is that the government should ensure that the necessary amenities are in place. There is stable electricity, there is stable security, and this said inflation will come down.
Okay. What do you suggest, Mr. Ola? Let's go to the solutions now. What do you suggest for all the... You said the 1 million naira is not realistic. So what do you suggest?
Even the government, and some aides to some governments responded that it's not realistic, both in the south and in the north. But I think what governments, even the labor leaders, should do is not to increase the salary, because if they fight for the increment in salary, every other thing will go up.
Yes,
and that means inflation will still keep on rising instead of bringing the inflation down. Now, what the government and the labor union need to do is to make sure that the things come down.
Okay.
Why is the thing going up in the first place? It's because there is scarcity. So you have to use money, what you used to buy with 100 naira, you have to use 500 naira to buy the same portion, even in less quantity. Now, the government should make sure first there is surplus supply of things we want. Then talk about the electricity. In the last few weeks now, we know how the electricity in the country has been. Now, let them work about it, bringing the electricity down.
Is it even last week or last 5 years?
He's actually talking about his own area. Probably
what I'm saying is that, towards the end of late last year, the light a bit improved. Okay. But looking at the report we read online
on the news
back about a few weeks back, they said the grid collapsed up to the zero level.
It is every time it collapses.
You understand? Now, if they work about the grid upgrading, they work about the gas shortage that is giving us issue and every other thing, and they allowed individuals or the state to generate power. Then it means that Nigerians can adapt and the Nigerians can improvise. We can reverse engineering some things. on our own here. At least we've seen some people who are already generating, building cars, either up to the standard or not. And then two, they should work on all these modular refineries. It's not just to see people that are doing it and illegal. Instead of seeing them in legals and put them into jails, use their brain, bring them together.
Do you think modular refineries will work out for Nigeria?
I think it will work. Before, let me give you an example, sir.
Yeah.
The school, all these private schools were not common before. All these private universities, even radio stations were not common in Ibadan. Then look at the way it is now. It has given some people work.
Jobs.
It has helped so many things. And when I came in, I saw you talking about the filtration of the radio stations, dishing out almost the same thing. Now, if, for example, we are talking about news analysis here, the way we see it in this radio station is not the way others will see it. They will analyze it differently. It's not all of it that will be that bad. Then if they can work about the modular refinery, bringing these people together, then we issue of, because they are producing it locally, they are refining it locally, so they do not need dollar. And that can cover what we need in the state. And let's leave the bigger ones for the one they are exporting. That will generate more money for us.
All right.
I think it will work.
All right, the program is the Political Roundtable on Print 89.7 FM. But I was carried away with the issues because I understand that the solutions is what we give out to most of the time in this station. And there's something else I want you guys to talk about, gentlemen. And what is it? Buhari's reckless policy responsible for the current hardship in the country. By who? Adams Oshiomhole. The senator representing Edo North, Adams Oshiomhole, has said that Nigerians are currently suffering from what he described as reckless policies of former President Muhammadu Buhari. He recalled that he protested some of his policies that he said were designed to dehumanize dehumanize the population and was already in pain. Oshiomhole said this that the current hardship is being witnessed under the current administration were long-time consequence of those policies of President Muhammadu Buhari. Comrade Ogunbusola, your opinion about this?
Number one, Oshiomhole is a betrayer.
You call him that?
Yes. Reason is,
who did he betray?
Betraying Buhari in this, because they were both party members. What are we talking about? Oshiomhole was the national chairman of APC. So if any failure, let me tell you, if you have worked somewhere and that place is not good enough, it's not giving the best, and you are now somewhere else, destroying where you had ever worked.
Oshiomhole is saying he's saying APC.
You don't understand what I'm saying.
Please make it clear.
What I'm trying to say in essence is that it's a way of betraying the trust that Buhari must have had in him. Remember, he was a one-time governor and also national chairman
for the APC.
Yes, now. So now Buhari failed. So is he now trying to exonerate himself? Not only that, he was a one-time leader of the labor union. While he was in government, was there any agitation which you could say, oh, this one is working for the people? No, it is a way of romancing the present-led administration, because he knew that the last administration, towards the tail of that administration, he saw hell. Then finding a way of moving closer to what are we talking about? So that was why I said it's a way of.
I want you to add this to it. Oshiomhole, let me try to quote him now. He said, "My first loyalty is to Nigeria." And at some point before the last president left office, I lamented loudly when I saw reckless policies that has been designed to dehumanize the population of the already in pain Nigerians.
Everything he's saying, we don't want to hear it, because was it not at Edo that we knew how he planted Obaseki? We knew how he wanted to remove Obaseki. We knew how he had planned also to become a godfather there. So where is that loyalty? He's loyal to Nigeria and he's still going back to the power. He's still a member of the National Assembly. He's loyal to Nigeria.
But is he not stating the fact?
Which fact is that?
The fact that the problem that Tinubu is actually going through right now, he didn't create most of them.
Hey, you might not. That is government. They say government is in continuum.
Yes.
So he has. That's why people are not blaming the present administration too much, because we believe many of these were created and also were inherited, but all the same they are still members of the same party.
Okay.
So which we know that all of this which he's saying a way of also fighting for himself and also to draw himself closer to the president, not to the people.
Okay, the former Edo governor added that the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu should not be held responsible for whatever decision embarked upon by the previous government. Komedola, he said, when I remember a particular time where President Bola Ahmed Tinubu got to power, he said nobody should pity him with whatever he goes through, that he knew the responsibility that is attached to governance before coming over to that place. Now what Oshomole is saying is that we should not hold Tinubu responsible, that we should hold Buhari responsible, but they belong to the same party. Is he not stating the truth?
Let me start from what you said earlier on.
Okay.
That he said he pledged the allegiance to Nigeria.
First, yeah.
Yes, but when they were buying vehicles for themselves, he didn't reject it.
Okay.
160 million, he did not reject it. We did not even hear from any of the either Labour Party, PDP party members in the House of Assembly saying that they do not like or getting that car.
That should not even be got.
At that present time, that the fuel is just increasing, that they just remove subsidy and everything is starting to rising. Now, he now said that is President Buhari. Fine, he's saying the fact, actually, because he's in the government, and to a little understanding of that I have, Sha. When you have a leader, you hardly object to your leader. You hardly say much. I mean, against anything against your leader at that time. Even people will see it as anti-party. Fine, I understand it from that angle. But what he said, even me myself, I'm not in any political party, so I think I can say it. About 1.5 years before now, I was thinking that until this last administration leaves, that we know the effect that this guy has done to us.
Which of them?
I mean, the Buhari administration. Okay. And to me, I'm sorry to say this, I think that administration is for the cow government. Sorry to say.
Okay, we will not accept that.
Yes, because most of the things, this is the reason why I said it. One, most of the farmers could not go to farm. And when he was campaigning to enter the government, he said you make agriculture to be robust so that people will have a lot.
That doesn't make him the cow president.
Yes, but most of the times,
even
the president, I mean, most of the things we had on news is that they use the cow to graze.
It is still part of agriculture.
That is
agriculture.
If
you are saying that, so we cannot. That is still agriculture. That's livestock farming.
Of course.
That is livestock farming.
No. When we are talking about the agriculture is in two phases.
Okay, now.
The one for the individual, and for the citizens, and the one for the cows.
All right. Now, the point is this. Let's focus on the one of the Oshomole and the statement he made by the last administration. Yeah. I want you to add this to it, gentlemen, so we can wrap this up. He said, I'm trying to quote Oshomole now, Comrade Ogumbosola. He said, I cannot join other Nigerians criticizing Tinubu on the current economic hardship. And I'm not saying that he is a saint from the wrongdoing, but in the current economic situation, President Tinubu is not to be blamed. I am not also speaking for and yes, he said, and the central bank he said for 8 years, this is where I want to take it now. He said for 8 years we were living a fake lifestyle with huge debt from foreign and domestic debt. Now he said the Central Bank of Nigeria is owing 30 trillion naira, which resulted into debt servicing surpassed 100%. He said Nigeria is living fake life in the 8 years.
Was he not part of that? You see, this
he was not in the cabinet.
It was not. Was it not that time he was the governor? What are we talking about? Let me tell you, comrade, sir. Yes. Let me tell you. These are things that would always what he brought up will eventually anger Nigerians, because comrade Emmanuel has mentioned it that even when they voted huge money into the National Assembly, why didn't he come out? Even the so-called Labour Party members, we see of them there. Nobody has ever come out to reject it. It's to tell you that things are wrong. There is a need for us to work on our constitutions. The constitution should only allow, you see, until we look into that holistically. The problem we are having now is a fundamental problem. If you have been elected a governor one time, you cannot go for any elected position again until we do all of that. If your own is being a chairman and you were elected once, let's see what you can do. Somebody who was elected a chairman and could not perform, and still aiming for higher position. So what are you telling me? If the little position you have held, you could not have been held accountable, then what is the essence of for the people? But people, we Nigerians, it is high time we woke up. It is high time we opened our eyes to see what all of this which is saying is wrong. The only thing is that the present administration has a lot to do. President-led administration, particularly President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, should always remember that he told people that he will renew the hope. So we are beginning to define that hope renewal.
Okay.
Now, things have not been in good shape before he became the president, and which we believe he had the solution to it. Not that you are adding more woes. No, people are beginning to, it's a way, all of this, people are beginning to thump the formal administration that even during this time, is this how we shall be crying? No, something has to be done. Let food be surplus.
I think, sir, there's this saying that goes around, sir, that the last president, Buhari, said that by the time he left the office, there's tendency that will be the one pressing him for even leaving the office, that he even almost did well than the present government. And the way it is now is something similar that is happening presently. Now, but I want also...
But the past government you're talking about, Oshomole said they live a fake life for 8 years. He said that clearly. APC party was in power last time. APC power is still the one in power now. He said they live fake life for 8 years.
The reason why we did not hear Tinubu criticizing Buhari is because they're in the same party. So it would be like the house divided against itself.
Is the house divided now for Oshomole to speak about the former president?
Fine. Because I can't really say he's seeing himself as a lawmaker in the house, which is what they do most, sir. Most times they come to applaud or to criticize in the house. That's the normative for them in the House of Assemblies. But when we look at it in general terms, it's very hard for the president of this government now to talk about the past, bring the fact that he's the one that even bring the last government to the power. Like people used to say. So he doesn't know what the thing is doing. But there's one thing that we all knew. I think after 1 or 2 years of President Buhari, there was a video I watched online that Jonathan was moving forward, but when Buhari...
That's just...
I don't want to say too much.
That's just okay, we'll open the phone lines now. But before then, gentlemen, the program is still Political Roundtable on Prince 89.7 FM. But we are live on all social media platforms, so please do what to drop your comments, like, and share. Gentlemen, before we go, start picking calls because it seems that our time is fast spent. Gentlemen, when I want to ask you a question, just a quick one. Commander Gumbosola, Commander Ola Emmanuel.
Yes, sir.
If someone is a presidential aide, that means he's speaking for the president, right?
Yes.
You guys agreed on that.
Yes.
Bayo Ononuga speaks for the president.
He does.
Good. Now, Ononuga said something yesterday. He said the presidency on Monday described Nigeria as, underline the word, very, very poor country.
He has spoken the truth.
Given as a low per capita and compared to other African nations, Bayo Ononuga said Nigeria is very, very poor country. Coming from Bayo Ononuga.
On a more serious note, he has spoken the truth.
He spoke the truth.
Let me tell you.
Please, before you continue, for himself or for his principal?
For the entire country.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me tell you, fine, you are only looking at it, in literature. When we looked into formalism, a theory in literature, we talk of formalism. And there was a particular example which were given. They say in the southeastern part of this country, so to say, that's what they call sepulchre. In a sepulchre, you see, you spend so much there. You spend so much there to decorate it. And what is there? Dead. If you open it, you find out that what is inside is pretty bad. That is what is happening in Nigeria. No, they are beginning to tell us that there is nothing good in this country for now, and that we are poor. Fine. The idea that Nigeria is a blessed country, where is that blessedness? Because we have the said crude, we have it, and amount you buy a liter of petrol. Amount you buy a liter of diesel. What are we talking about? Isn't that poverty? We are now compared to Venezuela.
Yeah.
The same thing that is happening in Venezuela, they are also rich, but they are poor. If you go to Venezuela now, buying little pepper, you need to get like $200, dollars to get it. What are we talking about? Things are not in good shape. People hardly take, a meal a day. What are we talking about? He's talking the truth.
He's saying the truth.
He's saying the truth.
Okay, now let me try to quote him more so that our Komidola can.
We have the resources, and those resources are not giving us, the due result. What are we talking? We are poor. We don't know what to do with it.
Okay, he said Nigeria is a very, very poor country. To be honest, I think our wealth is overestimated. Onanuga said this on live TV. He said Nigeria is very, very poor, and our wealth is overestimated. Your opinion about this, Komidola, before we open the phone lines?
Well, during the Jonathan era, there was this time they do GDP stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember then, South Africa and Nigeria, there was this tussle about it that, okay, South Africa is the biggest GDP in the world, in Africa, and Nigeria. Then afterward, they said Nigeria is the biggest. Then 1 year later, then we start to see the effect of this GDP. Now, during the time of Obasanjo, how he cancelled the debt for us. But what beat my imagination is anytime they talk about Buhari want to go and get the loan, you see people defending the government that it's good to go and get the loan, it's good to go and get this one if they get it and they use it the right way. But in actual sense of it, it has led us to where we are. In actual sense, Nigerians are very poor. The Nigeria itself is very poor, and Nigeria do not have money.
But is this not too much coming from a presidential aid?
It has to admit the reality.
That is the reality. Now, we have to, unless we admit this, we might not go anywhere. On a more serious note, he has tackled it from the point of view of structuralism. Going to the real text that this is what it is. Don't just say we are blessed and we are not seeing any results.
I think Nigerian government contributed to what happened, and this is why I said it. If a nation allows maybe the state government to be in charge of the mineral resources they will get, and they remit to the federal government, I know that not all the states will be that callous to wipe the whole money out. But because the federal government, all this unitary system of government is giving us a lot of problems. Now, somebody will come, get the permission from the Abuja, coming to mind this thing. The state government may not know even how the thing works. And before you know what is happening, the money disappears.
So where's that the richness?
Where's
the richness then? Where's the richness?
There's no richness.
The community from where this is dug, they are poor.
So instead of not focus
on the owner of a thing, you cannot use it.
Instead of now focus on the thing, they now try to give us double tax. You pay tax here, you pay tax that one. And you see that one, you think that one will now cover up what happens. There was a time the Obasanjo said the Nigerian government, the CBN, is printing money out of the thing. That's to tell you we are poor.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. Let's pick the calls. Then we'll come back to the last talking point. That's insecurity in the country. 070-47,897 is now time for the listener to drop their comments now. 070-47,897 or 070-48,897 070-48,897. And our audience can call +234 092195845 +234 092195845. Wow, 2 lines are ringing almost at the same time. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Thank you for joining us. What's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm Joshua Reading, calling from January.
Okay, Mr. Joshua, please make your point. You have the floor.
Okay, the point here is that the problem with Nigeria is not a problem of it's a problem of individual running the government. There is no set principle, there is no set system of people who come into government to follow and run the government. Everybody just come individually and promise, okay, I'll do this, and when they go, another person comes and promise something else. Leaving the project, even if it's uncompleted, they will leave that one and focus on something else. So that's just the problem in Nigeria. Whatever it is that is going on, we need a system to run the government.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Joshua, for your points this morning. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Please, you. Hello, good morning. Can you hear me? Hello, good morning, sir. The line is not really that clear. Please, please read out the number 070 47,897. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Please, it seems we have issues with the network, so please keep redialing the number 070 47,897 or 070 48,897. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tosi.
Oh, Mr. Bengamario, thank you for joining us this morning. Make your point.
I never knew you are a very good sport analyst. What you did yesterday was very, very excellent. I give it to you.
Well, thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it, sir. Thank you, sir.
Now, on labor, considering 1 million as the new minimum wage, this was yesterday, Mr. Bayo Nonuga, who is the special advisor to Mr. President on Information and Strategy, claimed yesterday that it will be difficult for the Nigerian government to peg the new proposed minimum wage at 100,000 naira. So the proposed 4 million naira demanded by the NLC is not realistic. That this state in Nigeria, only 10 states are paying the 1,000 naira minimum wage. So how do you ensure that the government will be able to pay 1 million naira? And on this Buhari's reckless policies, which implies that Buhari is responsible for the present Nigerian war, need to say that Oshiomhole loyalty is not pledged Nigeria at all. No single politician can never be loyal 100% with the entire citizen.
Okay.
What did Oshiomhole do when those policies were made by the former president? Did he call a press conference to let the president know that most of the policies are not citizen friendly at that time? Was he a voice of the masses back then? Oshiomhole should just be quiet and bury his head in shame. The introduction of the new Naira note in 2022 was a little disaster, an error Buhari made back then. They made the bastardized CBN and see himself as an employee, printing trillions of naira into the administration of Buhari. He equally buried the economy as a result of atrocity he committed. He was the CBN governor. Do you know how much he rebonded? His case was in court recently. This will not be kind to Buhari and Tinubu in the near future.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bengamario. Thank you for joining us this morning. Hello, good morning. Thank you for joining us. What's your name and where are you calling from, please? Can you speak up a little bit?
From Ijebu.
Mr. Eniton from Ijebu, please make your point, sir.
Yes. I disagree with the special assistant to the president on strategies and information.
Okay.
That Nigeria is not a rich country. That information is not even good to be hearing from such a caliber of human. A nation, can you recall back that the Americans said that the money during the Jonathan regime, the money that was taken away from this country, from the Senate, that if they put such amount of money from the economy of this nation, that from the American economy, that their nations will be shaking. Also recorded a lot of billions of dollars also against Jonathan. See what we're talking again concerning the former president, Muhammadu Buhari administration. Now you are now coming back to tell us that there is no money. They should please begin to take steps to work on the society. The Nigeria at large is crying. People are hungry. They should help us. Whatever they can do before this thing returns to another thing.
Thank you,
God
sir.
bless Nigeria.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us. Let's see if we can pick just one more call. Then we'll wrap up with this, gentlemen. Just 30 seconds each for both of you. And please let the call come 070 47,897 or 070 48,897. Gentlemen, let's pick this call. So I could just ask you 30 seconds and we are out. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. This person is not ready for us. 070 47,897 or 070 48,897. Gentlemen, yes, the former president, the former head of state, General Yakubu Gowon, has identified Nigeria's porous borders as a significant contributing factor to the security challenges. He said the borders that are being porous are one of the reasons why we're having too much issues. That go to the northwest and the northeast, you will discover that there are lots of places you can get into the country without going to the real borders. That's truth, or it's actually just a mere talk?
From what he has said the right thing. So, and that's why people are saying that people living at the north, they are still enjoying than those at the southwest here. So that shows if the former head of state, Yakubu Gowon, would have, hinted that, then the present administration should do something about that, so that all those porosity could be closed up.
He said that the banditry and the kidnapping and other violence that we are seeing in Nigeria are coming from our borders. Your opinion about this, so we can wrap up.
Well, I agree with him that the Nigerian borders are porous, but because it's more common in the north than in the south here. Now, this is not news. It has been happening over time. But my question is, what are the border police doing?
The customs officers.
Yes, because it's not only just allowing them. This our Inyomini is the one that leading to this. We have Yorubas in the Benin Republic. Why are we not doing it in our own?
Nigerian Union of Teachers said the president should declare state of emergency on the security apparatus. Your opinion about that?
They have spoken well, because remember what happened 2 weeks ago at Ekiti State. That led to abduction of students or pupils. Okay. It happened also during Jonathan. We talk of Chibok girls. Not all of them were regained. We
need to go now. A special thanks to everybody that listened to the program. I guess this is the size of the program for this morning. Thank you for joining Political Roundtable this day. Yes, by the time you'll be listening to us next week, Prince FM would have been one. Thank you very much for joining us. And special thanks to those that dropped their comments on Facebook and the little calls we could pick because of the network. I will appreciate you all. Thank you, Comrade Ola Emmanuel, for coming this morning. And for the short notice, Comrade Musala, I appreciate you. Thank you very much.
A pleasure, sir.
Thank you very much. Now, I've done this alongside Doyin Basit and as well as the engineer on duty, Tokpe Adewale. Thank you very much. My name is Tosin Ajeshola. I urge you to always continue to be a good citizen of Nigeria. May God bless Nigeria.